All right, Canada, here we go. Grab a coffee, or better yet, a stiff drink. Because what's coming at our economy this spring isn't just a breeze, it's a full blown storm of American tariffs, frozen consumer confidence, rising job losses, and yep, a ticking mortgage delinquency bomb. Welcome back to the Wise Old Owl Show, where we don't whisper about interest rates, we shout the truth. So President Trump 2.0 is back in campaign mode, and what's his go-to economic strategy? Tariffs. Because nothing says economic diplomacy like slapping a tax on your best customer. That's us, by the way. Let alone the rest of the international community who got a dose of what Canada and Mexico have experienced the past few months. Now, why does this matter to you? Because tariffs mean higher input costs, weaker export margins, and consumer prices that go up just as you're struggling to fill your gas tank. And guess what? Canada's CPI inflation print in February came in hot. 2.6% versus 2.2% that was expected. Core inflation, the one the Bank of Canada watches like a hawk, came in at a sizzling 2.8%. And here's the part that'll drive Tiff Macklin absolutely nuts. Monthly core inflation was 0.7% in February alone. At that pace, we're knocking on an 8.5% annualized inflation rate. So yeah, a rate cut? Not so fast. The Bank of Canada is trapped. Inflation won't chill, but the soft data is screaming collapse. Consumer and business confidence? Both hit record lows in March, and I'm talking lower than 2008 or 2020. The markets are pricing a 40% chance of a 25% rate cut this spring. I call BS. My bet, rates hold or maybe drop slightly by summer, but mortgage rates in the 2% range? Forget it. That ship has sailed unless we hit another global catastrophe. Here's where it gets serious. We are on the edge of a job cliff. You know that feeling when you're at Wonderland staring down the Leviathan? Yeah, that's the Canadian job market right now. Construction starts have dropped 68% in Toronto, 47% in Vancouver, and guess which industry employs nearly 1 in 13 Canadians? Construction. That slowdown equals job losses. Add in softening global demand from U.S. trade threats and a population that's shrinking due to federal caps on non-permanent residents, and you've got a recipe for layoffs across multiple sectors. Now, here's where the economic dominoes start falling. Job losses lead to missed payments. Missed payments lead to mortgage delinquencies. And guess what? We're already seeing the first cracks. Power of sale notices are starting to be served to homeowners. Delinquent mortgages rose by nearly 500 in December, the second biggest jump since 2011 outside of COVID. And Ontario is leading the way because, of course, we are. Bank data shows gross impaired loans on consumer and residential mortgages surged over 60% year over year at Royal Bank. That's not a red flag. That's a flashing neon sign. So what happens when enough people can't pay their mortgage? Forced sales, distressed listings, and a chill in the real estate market that no open house, fresh baked cookies can solve. February already saw a 20% drop in home sales in Ontario and a 4.6% decline in resale prices nationally, the sharpest since 2022. March isn't any better. If delinquencies spike, prices follow. That's not a prediction, it's a pattern. Here's the honest truth. Canadians need to wake up. If you're holding a variable rate mortgage, it's time to assess your risk tolerance. Rates may not drop fast enough to save you. Locking into a fixed rate isn't about trying to time the market. It's about creating certainty in a world that's increasingly uncertain. And if you're renewing this year, expect a 35% jump in payments from those record low rates in 2020. Now, more than ever, you need a mortgage professional who's not just selling rates, but offering a real strategy. That's us at OwlMortgage.ca. We'll help you navigate, plan, and protect your biggest asset. So like this video, share it with someone you care about, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, because we're going to keep talking about the stuff that actually matters. And one last thing, April 28th is Election Day in Canada. Get out and vote. It's your economy, it's your home, it's your future. This is Vince Gaetano from OwlMortgage. Thanks for listening. And remember, the Wise Old Owl is here to help you navigate through the noise and provide insight to the financial chaos in the current environment. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and together, let's chart a path to financial stability. Cheers.